there was an order of how we wanted to do this event, and some stuff had to get shifted around. So we are going to have our comedian come out, and I am promising you, after she is done, the food will be ready. And I thank you all for all your patience and being so nice about it. So without further ado, comedian Tara Zimmerman.
All right, Tara. They told me to do a dance.
I have this great character that I dress up like an old lady, and her name's Mother Butts. But hey, y'all.
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good. I am so happy to be here. I really am. I shared with Rebecca and Leah that my father was very active in the Mental Health Association, basically for his entire life. He was a hospital administrator. There's actually a building in Princeton, Indiana, dedicated to my dad for his work with mental health. So, yeah, I feel very privileged to be here to speak to y'all. And of course, I'm a comedian, so all comedians have depression and anxiety. That's why we're up here, because most of us can't afford therapy, so we're gonna talk to y'all. My name is Tara Zimmerman, and I'm super happy to be here. I'm happy to be anywhere. I'm happy to be out of the house. Yeah. And I'm happy that we can gather here together and enjoy fellowship, because we have to remember, y'all, what was it, 3 years ago? We weren't doing this now, were we? And do you know that some of our fellow Floridians did not get to spend time with their family in other states for like a year and a half? And then there are Floridians such as myself who did not find this a hardship. I got family in Indiana and Michigan. They're still calling me. Is it safe to come to Florida? And I say, no. You need to stay where you are. First of all, we're full. Get on I-4, you ain't going nowhere anyway. And it's not safe. We have sinkholes, alligators, and Florida man, and he's crazy. I will share a story with you, though. I did have the privilege, and it is a privilege, I got to go to Michigan to spend time with the family. I did, my husband's family. And this is about mental health, so I can go ahead and tell you about them. I'm gonna change the names, though. I'm gonna change the names. Not that y'all know them. I won't do it. Okay, I'm gonna say Uncle Bucky and Aunt Biddy. First of all, Uncle Bucky and Aunt Biddy. I mean, God made us all, in His image and stuff. But they's hefty. They's fluffy people. They's fluffy people. And they decided, they're probably in their early 70s. So they decided they was going to go on a romantic jet ski trip around a lake together. So, and we didn't have life jackets that quite fit them, so it looked pretty funny them getting on the jet ski anyway. And Uncle Bucky forgot to clip that little key on his trunks, because when you're riding a jet ski, you're supposed to clip this key on your trunks, so if you fall off, the jet ski will stop. He did not do that. So they took off into the sunset, and sure enough, they fell off. They fell off. So Uncle Bucky and Aunt Biddy are out in the water like thrashing about. And Aunt Biddy's a bit of a drama woman, so she was yelling, SOS, 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 come save us, Bucky's dying, I know my Bucky's dead, I know Bucky died. And of course the jet ski's going around in a big circle. So, and Bucky's just out there thrashing, he can't do nothing. So thank goodness it was 4th of July weekend, y'all. It was 4th of July weekend, and a wonderful family. True story. This is a true story. I just changed the names. A wonderful veteran of our United States military was out with his family, and the man had a prosthetic leg. True story. He's with his wife, his 2 kids, and his mother. And they come around and they see Uncle Bucky out there thrashing. So this wonderful man jumped in the water and hefted Uncle Bucky onto the pontoon. Unfortunately, Uncle Bucky's trunks had fell off during the thrashing, and so Grandma had to whip that flamingo towel around him right quick. And meanwhile, Aunt Biddy, she's being thrashed in the waves and stuff, and she can't get to swimming because she's wearing a life jacket. And do y'all remember, this is terrible to say, but I'm gonna say it, Lord forgive me. Do y'all remember when we was in SeaWorld, when SeaWorld had the big Shamu and the seals that would come up like this out of the water to greet you? That's what happened to Aunt Biddy. She came up on the shore. And of course, people in Michigan are lovely people. They came out and they saved her. But yeah, and that was just one day. That was just one day I spent in Michigan. I couldn't wait to get back here to Florida, I'll tell you what. But yeah, family's a blessing. Family's a blessing. Anybody out here married?
Yes.
See, and y'all seem happy about it. That's good. You seem happy about it. I've been in clubs before where they go like this. Anybody in a relationship? There you go. There you go. It don't have to be good though, because we don't judge you. We don't judge you. I have been married to my beloved Bob for 33 fun-filled years. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And we've been married to each other the whole time at the same time, no breaks. I like to clarify that because I do Christian comedy. I go to churches and I do testimonies in Christian comedy. And I was at a Christian comedy show one time, and the gentleman comedian who went on to perform before I did, he said he'd been married for over 40 years. And everybody laughed and clapped and was so excited till he said to 7 different women. Sir, that does not go over real well at the Christian comedy. It does not. It just does not. No, it does not. But Bob and I, we're still hanging in there. We're still hanging in there, mostly because neither Bob nor I have the time, the money, or the inclination to get in good enough shape to appear naked in front of another human being for the rest of our lives. We're staying where we are. Maybe some of y'all are with us. There you go. There you go. Hallelujah. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. And I'll share with you, Bob, my beloved Bob. He is 10 years older than I am, which worked out really good for me when we first got married. Because he had a job, he had a car, he had an apartment, he had a 401k. It was great. But after 33 fun-filled years, Bob is falling apart. First, his back went out. He complained for 3 years. Then we got him surgery, so he was good then. Then he had frozen shoulder. He had to take shots. Then he had something cut off the end of his nose, and he ran around looking like Rudolph for about a month and a half. Other night, he comes walking into the bedroom, and he says, "Hun, I think I'm getting bunions on both feet." I said, "Dude, I swear to God, one more thing, and I'm having you put down." You can only handle so much of this for, sickness and health and all that other stuff at the same time. It's pitiful. But I see we have some parents out here. Parents? Nobody had any kids? Okay. It's all right. You just found these children on the side of the God bless you. What a wonderful people. Well, it was raining. I understand. Yes, I am blessed to be the mother of 2 beautiful children. Beautiful children. And then there's that other one, but we're not here to talk about that. But there's one thing I learned, and I learned it real quick. It's that there is a difference between boys and girls. And not just the one you're thinking of right now. I'll tell you what. Even my pregnancies were different. Our daughter was born first. And you remember that book, What to Expect When You're Expecting Delivery and Beyond? Her being a firstborn A-type personality girl, she read the book along with me in utero. She read along with me. So when it came time for her to be born, she did exactly what the book said. Exactly. Her birth was like a Zen garden and flute music. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And this is for any young women out there that are thinking of having any children in the future. I don't want to tell you what to do, but remember this one word, epidural. Epidural. Because I had one, and it was great with my daughter because nurse came in and said, she said, contractions are getting pretty heavy. You want to push? I said, sure. 1, 2, 3, ta-da! There she was. And she was so cute. She was pink, and she was like, didn't look like a lizard or nothing. It was so exciting. And the doctor said, well, this has to be a girl because she's just so pretty. And all of us in the room went, oh. And Bob and I, being ignorant, we said, we're going to have 12 kids. This is so great. 2 years later, we have little Bobby. I went into labor on Friday with little Bobby. He got it to 5 minutes apart. And then, I don't know what he was doing. If he forgot what he was doing, if, he took a nap, got bored, totally stopped, started up again, 5 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning. As Marissa's birth had been Zen gardens and flowers and flutes, his was apocalypse now. A lot of screaming, a lot of yelling. I didn't get nothing at all. And as he had held up Marissa, her going, he wrestled Bobby out. And the first thing Bobby did was he threw back his shoulders, and I swear to God, they were this big. And I said, thank God he tucked and rolled. Thank God he tucked and rolled. And the doctor said, you got your boy. And we both looked at each other, me and Bob, and we said, oh, thank God it'd be one ugly girl. I'll tell you what. But yeah. And I know, my degree's in psychology. You're not supposed to compare your children. But I did. So by the time Bobby was 6 years old, we were convinced there was something terribly wrong with him. So we had him assessed, tested. $2,000 non-refundable, because we didn't want anything like slapped on him if he was really odd. Psychologist who had an uncanny resemblance to Stephen King told us that Bobby, first and foremost, was a boy. And we said we had suspected this from the onset. Second thing they told us was that little Bobby has a really high IQ. And I said, well, that's great. His behavior didn't change a bit, but at least I had papers that I could show people. And I'm gonna tell y'all something at that time in my life. Sometimes medication can be a godsend. It can. Because they wouldn't give little Bobby anything, but the stuff they gave me sure made life a lot easier, I'll tell you that. Bobby was busy, but I was home. Yeah. But, they're all right now. They are. Well, they're pseudo-okay. Marissa she's 31 years old, our Marissa. She's in Oregon, getting her master's. She's about 5'9", weighs about 130, long, flowing, dark hair. People say she looks just like me. Poor ignorant people. It is getting irritating though, because now we're the same age. But, yeah. And little Bobby, who we thought we'd have so much problems with, he's now, he's grown. He has a degree in accounting from USF, and he's 6'2", and he has long flowing blonde hair. I'm not kidding, it's like down to here, yeah. He says, till I get a job, this is what I'm wearing. And, he did fine. He's still living at home, of course, because he's an accountant and he's saving money. He'll probably take over the house when we pass. Yes. But yeah, my beloved Bob and I, we just celebrated our 33rd anniversary. Yes, to each other. Thank you. Bless your all heart. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Anytime you're in a relationship for that long a time, it can get a little monotonous. It can. Especially during the pandemic when we were spending that 24/7 quality time together. And it was during that time that I felt the need to spice up our love life. Yes, I did, yes, I did, yes, I did. So I went online and I ordered a naughty leather and lace bustier. Yes, I did, yes, I did. Now, I have some advice for y'all. It's for young people. I saw some young people. You might be too young, but just remember it. If y'all go online and decide to order something of a personal nature, don't order it from China. There is a slight sizing discrepancy between the United States and China. For instance, when my size large Chinese bustier arrived, I looked at it and thought, there ain't no way it's fitting on this size large American body. But it was so dang cute. It was so dang cute, ma'am. I said, I can get in there. I think I can get in there. So I wedged myself into that bustier. Now, if y'all are thinking of a visual at this time, are you familiar with those biscuits that come in the tube? That's what I got. That's what I got. Wasn't what I wanted, but that's what I got. I expanded, it contracted, something shifted during flight. But I was trapped in that bustier. I was trapped in that bustier. And I was running out of oxygen. So I went waddling into the kitchen. Bob looked at me and said, "What have you done to yourself?" I said, "Shut up and help me." Now he was under pressure, because he's in the kitchen, right? He's in the kitchen, and his wife is leaning over the island going, I hear banging and clanging going on behind me. Well, y'all, he found a pizza cutter. That's right. That's right. He sliced up the back of that bustier. It went flying across the room, took out the cat, scared the dog half to death, and basically demolished the sliding glass door onto the lanai. It was pitiful. It was pitiful. Pitiful. But I tell y'all something, I was just getting too big. I was getting too big. You know, I know I was, because y'all heard about the quarantine 15. I'm an overachiever, y'all. I had the quarantine 50. It put me in a quandary, because then I had to gain 50 more to get the gastric bypass, or lose 30 pounds to wear any clothing that I might own. And I didn't know if I had the wherewithal to do either. And I'm a realist, y'all. I'm a realist. Only way I'm getting a smoking hot body is if I spontaneously combust during a hot flash. Only way I'm getting the body I had when I was 17 years old is with a lot of plastic surgery. And unfortunately, I don't have the money to get done everything at one time, so I'd have to use Groupons. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Ma'am, what is your name? The little blonde person right there. Yes. Sandra, don't worry. I do Christian comedy. I'm not a mean person in any way. This is just an FYI. I'm sharing. Sharing. Do you know that right now in your Clipper magazine, where we get the coupons, there is a coupon for a Brazilian butt lift? Not that you need it. I saw you come in. You're a lovely person. You're a lovely person. Key word there for me, though, is starting at $3,400. How much y'all think this is going to put me back? About 10,000? Be cheaper for me to hire a little guy to walk around behind me and carry my fanny. Yeah. It's rough. It's hard getting in shape when you're my age, you know? I think, you know. Round's a shape. Bulbous is a shape. You know, I think so. I think so. Yeah, but I must say, I'll share with you, I feel a kinship with you. Since this time last year, I have lost 30 pounds. Thank you. Well, I had to get back in my clothes. Yes. And for a long time, I worked at the University of South Florida. We were like Zooming and Teams meetings, so we were just little heads floating around for quite a long time. So nobody saw me, you know. So then, when I walked in live and in person, everyone noticed that I had lost weight. And they all run up to me and they all say the same thing. They say, Tara, what is your secret? How did you lose that weight? And I said, it's no secret. I said, I stopped eating like a pig, and now I work out occasionally. And to a person, they all reacted exactly the same way. They said, well, I don't want to do that. So I realized as a comedian, I was answering them incorrectly. So now when they say, Tara, how did you lose that weight? I say, everybody huddle up. Huddle up. I'm going to tell you the secret. Are you ready? This is what I do. I wait till around midnight. Then I go back behind the house. And I strip down buck naked. Then I go down to the pond. And I run around that sucker 13 times, swinging a chicken over my head. Now, I work at the University of South Florida. These are educated people, supposedly. They start taking notes. They're like, ooh, yeah. Now, do I have to go at midnight or can I go a little earlier? Do I have to be buck naked or can I wear flip-flops? Is that a live chicken or can I get that sucker at Publix? That's why I love people. That's why I love people. But this is my second to last joke. I just had like another FYI moment, a feeling. I love Publix. I know some people say they're too expensive, but I still love them. I love Publix. But I think everyone should be included in everything. I'm an ally, everything. But they should like cap the age for some of the bad boys. Here's my story. I'm at the Publix. Y'all, if he was 85, I'm dying. And he's in a little scooter chair. He's in one of the scooter things. That's the bag person I have, right? First of all, the checker and I are trying to do everything ourselves because we don't want him to hurt himself. And he asked me if I wanted to help out, and I said, no, sir, I'm fine. But he couldn't hear me, so he just went rolling out there with me. So then I had to hurry up and take out all my stuff, especially the heavy stuff, because I didn't want him to hurt himself. So he said, thank you, ma'am, and I said, thank you, sir. And I got in my car, and I went on, and I had to do a couple more errands. And as I'm heading out, I look, and he's still sitting out there in the parking lot in his little scooter chair where I was parked. And I'm thinking, So I pulled back out there, and I said, sir? I said, are you okay? And he looked at me and said, why am I here? I had to get in the little scooter chair with him and trolley him on back in there to the Publix, take him to customer service, tell him that he was out, and they said, oh yeah, it happens a lot. He's been through training 4 times. I'm like, well, you got to get a tether for him or something because he's going to be just out. It's hot in Florida. It's hot in Florida. But I love people, y'all. Of course, the person I love the most in this world is Bob. But it harkens me back to the day, y'all, when Bob and I was first in love. And I would walk out all provocative in front of him. Didn't need no bustier or nothing. And he'd say, ooh! Now I walk out all provocative in front of Bob. And he says, aren't you cold? Thank y'all so much. It has been my pleasure. And I think the food's ready.